Ah, draw 4. Uno, red. Oh, welcome back. I'm excited to have you join me once again for another episode of Outside the Fire. I am, of course, your host, Krazee J, and I have a wonderful guest today. Somebody I've actually been chasing for quite a while, and she knows it. um, I've watched this person grow, and I hope that you all can watch this person grow too. Somebody, like I said, I've been chasing this person for interviews for a while, and there's a reason for it. I've watched this person go from a reviewer to now doing their own little thing, which we'll get into. I'm not going to give too much information away. I'll let them do the talking. But please take this moment right here to help me welcome KATIE Bannister, also known as KTB Saucy.
Hi.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. As I mentioned, I've been chasing you for a little while now.
I'm sorry.
No. Don't be
No,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, that you shouldn't apologize for that. You can actually brag about that, right?
Yeah, that's just mind blowing to me. That's
Oh,
awesome. Thanks for
oh,
chasing me down, though. I'm glad to be here. This is awesome.
yes, I'm glad that you can squeeze me in for this little bit of a time out of your life, so to speak, because I know you're a very busy person and you keep yourself going, being the family person that you are, and then your new business that you got going. So Rail, this is where I start off since I haven't interviewed you in this format before. I give you the opportunity to kind of talk about yourself a little bit, whatever you're comfortable sharing, your little background, and I'm going to ask you anyway. So go ahead once you're into that, talk about how you got started into eating spicy foods, and then we'll kind of build upon that or
Okay.
whatever.
Sure. Well, I am a stay at home mom of two little girls. I got a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old, and husband I've been married to for 15 years now. So that's the first and foremost basis of me. I got into eating spicy stuff. I've always been into eating spicy stuff, honestly. Like ever since I was a kid, I really enjoyed like Texas Pete, Frank's Red Hot. My
Mm-hmm.
dad was into that kind of thing. So then I got into that kind of thing. But I am born and bred Fort Mill, South Carolina. And I literally grew up 2 blocks away from the Pucker Butt Pepper Company.
Oh
I
wow,
remember when they came into downtown Fort Mill, everybody thought it was a sex shop to start with, and then we realized it was a pepper store.
nice.
um, but I really enjoyed their hot sauces. I really enjoyed them. Um, Pucker Butt definitely took my interest in spicy food to a different level. Um, I remember going into the store probably 2015, right when Hot Ones was really starting to take off.
Right.
And I went in looking for the last dab, the Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Ed was there and he didn't have the bottle to sell. But the people at Pucker Butt are like the nicest people in the world. And he was just so friendly and so personable. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember he started giving me like the science and backstory behind peppers. And I remember this man telling me that peppers helped him overcome addiction, and that there is a healing power in peppers in the sense that when you get a good burn going, it helps create endorphins and
Mm-hmm.
dopamine and all of your feel good hormones. So
Yes.
it helps battle depression, anxiety, and it helps overcome addictions and stuff too. So I remember getting this like long Bill Nye the Science Guy explanation about peppers. And then fast forward in my life, I hit a point where I was just at an all-time low personally.
Mm-hmm.
I had lost my dad. I was struggling with alcohol. I was the lowest I have ever been, and it was right around the time of losing my dad. And I don't know if it's all the way into 2020. I'd say maybe 2017, 18. And I remember I'd start doing challenges and I started eating a lot of hot sauce and stuff along those lines. And 2020 is when I started reviewing all of the hot sauces that I had bought from
Mm-hmm.
Pucker Butt.
Nice.
And once I got involved in the community, uh, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like it has definitely helped with the depression. The community itself uh, sort of stepped into this hole that was sort of there once I lost my dad.
Uh,
I don't know. Like there's just so much. to it for me. And it's like one thing has sort of led to the other. And yeah, and I guess here we are now.
Awesome. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are here because you received an invite to be a competitor because somebody thought you were worthy of competing through
Oh
one way,
man.
shape, or form in the Zest Fest chili pepper eating contest, sponsored by the League of Fire for America's Belt.
That's it. Yes, sir.
I am so excited. Like I said, every one of these interviewees and competitors I've grown to know over the time, just through, even if it's through very short conversations, and you start to learn that different personalities,
Mm-hmm.
it's still great. It's like a big, like you said, community, and it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's a very welcoming community. It's not like we're gonna push you away. We want more. We want
Yep.
everybody to be part of this. And it's a
Yep.
very charitable community, which I'm speaking of which, I know you recently started your own thing with small batch sauce companies, which you have reached out to these small batch sauce makers and found a way to put them all in a place to
Mm-hmm.
get them to other people who may not even know who they are.
Correct. Yep.
So let's talk about your little startup with that, if you don't mind,
Okay.
because I have been following that and I love this. I love how this started.
Thanks. So when I started doing reviews, I had a refrigerator full of Pucker Butt Pepper Company sauces. And what I did was reviewed those sauces on YouTube, and I reached out to the sauce makers and started interviewing them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what started happening from there is other people that had their small batch companies started reaching out to me to review for them for YouTube. So I reviewed their sauces on YouTube, and I did that for a while, kind of developed a bit of a following. And once this opportunity for this store came available, all of the small batch sauces that had been sent to me that I really love and I think are awesome, those are the ones that we started out with in the store. Now,
Mm-hmm.
as time goes on, more people send me their sauces, we review them, and then put them in the store. But that's ultimately, I do want to give that platform to the small batch, small
Yeah,
business people.
for sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I think that's really cool. Like I said, you start out by helping others, basically. Like I said, this is a very charitable and generous type of atmosphere and family that we've all become part of.
Yeah.
And so I really like I said, I like following that. And while we're still on that subject, and I don't know if you got to keep it or if you had to send it back, there was a mistake made originally that was sent to you for your sign or something.
Oh, yeah. I finally threw that mess away. They sure did
I,
screw that thing up, didn't they?
I
Yeah.
would I would have kept that just for the story,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah, but no, it's cool. I get it. It was frustrating because everything was you know stressful for you because you were excited and nervous, and kicking off.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you get this thing and you were like, oh no, what do we do now?
Yeah, that was a real raw moment. I was so excited, and then they had totally botched that thing. I never even thought about keeping it. Now I guess I wish I had. Yeah,
No,
that
it's
would be a
cool.
fun story to tell.
It's cool. Like some of us know. Like I said, I stalk you on various social medias for a reason.
That
Yeah,
is so cool. Thanks.
yeah, yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
appreciate
that's a
that.
fun one.
So, you said you've always been into like the spicy foods. When did you? Well, you touched on it a little bit, but when did you first like start testing your limits as far as heat and kind of seeing what your body could handle and how you can
Uh, I
handle it?
I think I have always been the type of person that will push myself to limits. But I would probably say the first time that I ever really tested myself. Yeah, I think my 30th birthday, I did the Buffalo Wild Wings challenge.
Mhm.
And of course, I dominated it. But that was the first one. And dude, it hurt so bad, which is funny because I remember back then being like, oh my gosh, this stuff is scalding hot. But now I can do blazing buffalo just for lunch. It's completely fine.
Yes.
But yeah, that was probably the first time I did that Buffalo Wild Wing eating challenge. And then the next thing from there was doing the Death Nut 2.0. I did the Death
Okay.
Nut. listen how this is me. Okay. I didn't know any better. This was before I knew any better. The Death Nut 2.0 challenge had just come out, and I was at work with this guy that I worked with, and I asked him about the Death Nut. He was like, I'll buy it if you'll do it with me. And I said,
Okay.
well, sure, I'll do it with you. I'm not gonna back down from a challenge. Okay, let's do it. So this dude orders this stuff. He rallies everyone in the office around the two of us, and then he backs out. And he says, I'm
Oh.
not doing that with you. You're going to do it by yourself.
Oh, no.
Okay. So now here I am in the center of this office at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And I do every single nut. I did it exactly the way that they said do it. I followed all the rules. I dominated it. I crushed it. And I had no tolerance at this point. Like, this was just stuff I would randomly do sometimes. They recorded me doing it, the whole nine. But I had not eaten at all that day.
Oh.
So I had my first gut bomb ever. And I sat at my desk from the moment I did those nuts until 5:30 in the afternoon because I refused to let anybody know that it burned.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awful. And then I made it home, and that was the first time that I ever had one of those porcelain god experiences, laying on the bathroom floor, covered in sweat, crying, wondering what I had just done. And then I went and I did it again and again and again. And then I found there was a whole community of people, and I kept doing it. But those were probably the first two moments that got me wrapped up in it.
Awesome. That's cool. And then I also read that when you were younger, somebody was supposed to pay you to eat a pepper or something, and you kind of got scammed on that one as well.
I did. Sort of the story of my life. So it was this dude that I was in class with. It was the very end of the day, and he pulled out a jalapeno pepper, and he was like, I'll give anybody, whoever eats this, I'll give you $10. And I was like, I ain't gonna pass up $10. So I ate the whole thing, and then I started hiccuping, and it was so hot. It was so much hotter than I would have ever imagined a jalapeno pepper pod to be, but I didn't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay. I was like hiccuping and tears streaming down my face. And I said, give me my $10. And he said, you're an idiot. And he laughed it off and walked away from me. Yeah, I'm that person. That's me.
Nothing wrong with that at all. And like I said, I think it's a fun backstory, to learn about people like that and kind of where they start. And you really start by almost being dared to just try it.
Yeah.
And then you realize it really isn't as bad as you thought it might have been. And then you see, well, what else can I handle? What else can I do? So yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
So you've done a handful, or if not a few of these League of Fire style challenges.
I have not done as many as a lot of other people have done, but I've done a lot of them. Yeah. I just don't. I don't submit them to the League of Fire, not for any particular reason, but yeah, I've done a lot of them.
So what would you say was probably your most difficult challenge, whether it be League of Fire or any type of that you struggled with while doing the challenge the most?
That's a great question. I would say maybe the Toe of Satan. I don't know if that's on the League of Fire list.
I don't know if it's League of Fire or not, but that was a tough one.
That one's brutal. The Death Nut was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, those oh God, no, Katie, you're telling a lie. That Black Mamba 16 from
I was gonna ask you about that next.
Yeah, I tried to block that out, I think.
I was getting ready to say you are not the first one that I've interviewed and kind of asking, was kind of leading them to get to that has almost suppressed that memory for some reason.
Yes.
Yeah. So while we're here, since you've already touched on it, one of the judges is Vic, and of course you were hand selected as well because you are a great reviewer. I would imagine. Well, actually, I already know you are a great reviewer of sauces. Hand selected before the official release to almost promote and advertise this Black Mamba sauce. What was that experience like for you?
Amazing. Vic is so cool. The opportunities that Hot Shots and K-Johns and Vic have given me are just unbelievable. Doing the K-John or the Black Mamba 16, I was terrified to do it. It did not burn initially, as much as I expected it to, the
Mhm.
gut bomb was the worst. That was like a 7-8 hour gut bomb. It was,
Ah,
I've never experienced anything like that. That was
yeah,
wild.
yeah,
But it's so much fun. And I'm just completely honored because, yeah, that's just really neat to be a
mhm,
part of it.
right. Very cool. Like I said, I really like your cheerful attitude that you carry with you, and and I
Thank
know
you.
it's not always easy to maintain that because we all have lives and stuff. And I just think it's really cool that where you can kind of experience through a burn, it's almost like a high, a capsaicin high. Have you ever reached that level during a challenge or a burn where you just kind of felt different than you normally do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The euphoric feeling will definitely hit. Um, I think I would. Yeah, that definitely happens. The last time I can remember it happening now, and I think my tolerance has hit a point where the challenges are not really all that challenging anymore.
Yeah.
Um, but that I had a beast pepper sent to me by Paul Quick a little while ago. Whew, that was it. That was the rush you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, there. I think it's like a runner's high. You hit this point where you know that you're in pain, but you're motivated and sort of the adrenaline's pumping to keep going.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if that really answered the question or not, but
No, it did. It did. And that's basically what I was asking. Like I said, these questions just kind of come through the conversation. They're not scripted anywhere. And I think it keeps it more natural this way.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So as we were progressing and you said, your experience with cramps, and have you experienced that multiple times or have you learned about it? Did you when you did experience that, was there immediate like research of what is my body going through? What am I dealing with?
The first time that it ever happened, I had no idea what was happening. I mean, I could guess because, I had just eaten the death nuts or whatever.
Right.
So it's not like I couldn't figure out why my stomach was on fire for the hours on end that it was.
Right. Right.
What shocked me, though, I did not know this until I got into the pepper community. Capsaicin just I wasn't prepared for how long capsaicin digests and how much that can burn. I didn't know
Yeah.
that back then. Now I try to prep my stomach, of course, but if that doesn't always work. So then
No, you're
sometimes the
right.
next call of action is just to get sick as fast as you can so you're not going to be in hours of pain.
Right.
Um, yeah, sometimes it's just not very glamorous on the other end.
That's
But
true.
I don't know why we're driven to keep doing it though, because I'll do it again. I will go pray to the porcelain gods. I will sweat and cry and swear I'll never do it again, and
Yeah,
then I'm
I
gonna
was
do it
gonna
again.
ask you about that. Yeah, 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 for sure. I've done that so many times where I'm like dealing with the aftermath or whatever, and I'm like, I am not doing this anymore. But I
Yeah.
just feel like this awesome free energy almost afterwards. Once you
Yes.
recover from it, it's like I got to do that again, and I don't know why.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
nailed it. You nailed it.
yeah,
That's true. It's awful when you're going through it, but as soon as the relief hits, it's such an
yeah,
instant gratification. Yeah,
yes,
I think that's probably what keeps us doing it more, coming
right.
back for it.
Yeah. And so since you did also, what kind of things do you use to pre-prep your body or stomach or whatever for these challenges? What is your method for
Definitely eat a full meal beforehand.
that? Mhm.
Yogurt, milk, and then that's kind of it. Just eat a full meal and try and have as much dairy as possible. I have not had cap cramps in a really long time, probably not since the black mamba.
Okay.
But typically what I try and do is make sure that I have a full stomach, milk. Peanut butter used to help. I've heard that helps. Sometimes it's kind of hit or miss, but usually all dairy. Dairy at least makes me feel like I'm doing something about it. I don't know if I really am, but it feels like it. So
Yeah, I used to use bananas and stuff like that. A lot of stuff like that. So
bananas are a good one too. I
yeah.
haven't used them very often, but the one or two times that I have used them, I've definitely noticed it helps a lot.
Mhm. It's It's crazy. I just curious. And when you, like you said, you don't haven't experienced the cramps that long, but when you do, what is your method for relief? Afterwards, when you're just like your body's like, I don't want to do this anymore. What is your best method for relief?
So let's get real honest here for a second, okay? So my
Sure.
drug of choice for the longest time was alcohol. So I've got more than enough experience in getting sick. That is exactly what I do. If I sort of hit this oh my god moment
Mhm.
where it's just massive pain or it looks like we're going to be in this for hours, I'm just kind of not above getting sick. We can just go ahead and get sick and move on. And
Yeah.
that is so much easier than sometimes I can beast through it. The pain's not all that bad. And I kind of tell myself, like, you're trying to get your internal organs to sort of build up a tolerance. But yeah, I'm not above getting sick. I'll just get sick.
Yeah, I'm the
That's
same
the
way.
only thing.
No, I'm the same way. And then I'll let my body goes through it for a little while. And even sometimes after I get sick, my stomach, it's like my body's in between the digestive process and it came back out. And I'm
Right.
still going through the sweats and the cold tile floor, as everybody refers to. And that's,
Yeah.
that's the best method I can do. I haven't done the cold shower or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
But
I've never done that. I've never even heard of that one. I never really even had a conversation with anybody about it before. My husband thinks I'm out of my damn mind. He's probably right. But I've
yeah,
never really had this type of, yeah, I think I've never done a cold shower. I kind of get to a point where I can't stand to be touched by anything.
that's where I'm at with it. I'm the same way. I don't say like aggressive, but I get like, just leave me alone. Let me get through this and we'll
Yeah.
go from here. Yeah, I'm the same
What's
way.
wrong with us? Why do we do this to ourselves? It's so
That,
crazy,
that
isn't it?
that's why I like to talk about this stuff and why I refer to this as outside the fire, because a lot of people, they see what we put out there,
Right.
but they don't see what we actually deal with on a behind the scenes, before, during, after. Sometimes these things are all day events for us. Like they really are, for the simplest 3-minute challenge that you see on the screen.
Yeah, you nailed it.
And
You're right.
that's kind of why I started doing these interviews in a way, without giving secrets away. Of course, I'm not saying any of this is secretive, but
Sure.
is to let people know that this is a real, I want to say skill, but a real thing that people have committed themselves to doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what would you say is I'm probably already know the answer, but I don't know, so I'm going to ask anyway. What is your favorite way to get that burn? Is it a challenge, or obviously a sauce, the fresh pods? What is your favorite way? Even if
What
it's
a great
nothing.
question. What is my favorite way? Man, probably at this point, I think peppers. And it's funny because I swore to myself I would never get into pot eating.
Mm,
Look at me now. Uh,
ironically.
but I feel like I get a lot less of an after. I get a lot less sick. I burn a lot less with peppers than I do when we start getting into extracts
Yeah.
and these like sauces and items that are made in a lab. I feel like those just hurt so much worse, so much longer. So yeah, I think at this point it's peppers. Yeah, I think
That's cool. And your favorite pepper? I already know the answer to this, but
it's the
let's hear.
lemon drop pepper, baby.
Yes, yes.
That's
If you
it.
haven't seen this lady on TikTok, that you'll see it. Oh, no. Yes, for sure. Um, so in your store, you call the capsizing cave. Um, you carry, like I said, small batch sauces, and your favorite. You don't have. Well, I already know the answer to this as well. But what is your favorite sauce that you carry, either by heat or flavor or just overall sauce?
Oh man,
And it can
yeah, you
even,
know the answer to that. I try and carry it as much as I can. I've actually sold them out a few times. But Tim Myers Pothead Official Lemon Drop Pop, that
mm,
sauce is just so
yes,
good and it's so unique. That one is top notch. My favorite. That
Yeah.
one's really, really good.
And you do an awesome job promoting yourself and stuff like that. What is the hottest sauce that you carry in your store currently?
So I get that question a lot. The hottest one that I carry in the store currently is that Black Mamba 16
Right.
from K John's. Yeah, I carry that one. I carry Elijah's Extreme Regret Reserve. That one is pretty spicy. I did a lot of extract sauces a few weeks ago and it sold out just like that. But I'd say the hottest one that I've carried so far is that Black Mamba 16.
So something I touched on in the description, you have gotten so good at tasting and understanding the profile of sauces that you have kind of become a thing where you almost can match a sauce based on somebody's personality traits. How did that happen? What That is so awesome.
Is
If you
it?
don't, yes, I think because you were like, well, give me a burn profile and I'll get you a sauce. To me, that seems a little easy, but you're like, okay, tell me about you and I'll match a sauce that hits that perfect. And it's worked from the feedback that I've seen.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah, I think that I really enjoy people. I really enjoy psychology and things of that nature. But I think for the most part, I've just kind of done it to the point where certain saucers have certain trademarks and certain personalities lean towards certain things or others. So, like, for example, I'm just going to name drop for a minute. One of my favorite sauce makers is Irish Spikes. Everything Irish Spikes makes is like the weirdest stuff. They make hot sauce with candy canes crushed up in it.
Yeah.
I just feel like you can kind of match personality traits with sauces. I haven't really screwed up yet either.
That's what I said. I've never seen a person say, "Nope, you got me completely wrong." You know, if they were honest about what information they shared. You know,
right?
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think another thing, and I can watch it when people walk into the Cap Cave. They sort of have this look on their face of like, I like hot sauce, but I have no idea what I'm about to buy. So I feel like it's really important that I've tried it all. I know what I'm talking about.
For sure.
And I think that a lot of people sort of need to be guided. What's hot to me is not hot to someone walking into the store, or what isn't hot to me could be super hot to them. Some people don't even know that sweet fruity sauces exist. Like, I think that people can definitely need to be guided. I didn't even know all this stuff existed until I started reviewing.
Right.
So I guess I feel like it's my job now to try and let people know what's out there, because how else would you know?
Yes, I love it. Like I said,
Eat Frank's Red Hot, Cholula, they're like all basic, the
yeah,
same profile for the most part. Yeah, like I really enjoy letting people know how creative and clever these sauce makers get. And what all's out there. It's just fun.
right. So since we know your favorite pepper, we know that you're good at dealing with people. We know your favorite way to burn. What is your favorite smell? Just randomly, what is your favorite smell and why?
You're not going to believe my answer. My husband makes fun of me for my answer. You ready?
Always.
Vanilla.
Oh, okay.
The simplest, most plainest fragrance in the world. Yes. I am absolutely addicted to the fragrance of vanilla.
Nice.
I know that is such a boring, bland answer for
It's not, because I feel like some people go so far thinking about it that it is more off the wall with the things that they're like, oh, I actually kind of enjoy that. That having what sounds like a simple answer, there are obviously I call them flavors for some reason as of smells, like the little scentsy things that you put. I always call them flavors because I feel like I can taste them more than I can smell them sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great question. That's definitely it. As long as I've been alive, I am obsessed with the smell of vanilla. Can't get enough.
Definitely. Thank you so much for giving me that information. So what I do now is I kind of give you a chance to give out a free plug, whether it be for yourself or somebody else at this moment. And you're free to share whatever you feel like you want to share.
Okay. Well, one, thank you so much for doing this. This is awesome. Two, if you don't already, please go follow me over on TikTok or here on YouTube, and keep an eye out. if you're going to be at the Zest Fest, keep an eye out because I'll also be working the K-John's booth. So
Ooh.
not only will I be doing the pepper competition, but I'll be spending the week also hanging out with Vic Linko and John Hard and slinging K-John sauce. So super excited to be doing that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, for sure. Very cool. Very cool. And where can we see more of you? You can give out your web. I don't have it written down or anything, but where can we see more of you? And how do we get in contact?
The best way probably is TikTok, but if you go to katieBsaucy.com, you'll be able to get to every avenue, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. That is the best way to see everything that I have. The store is there at katieBsaucy.com. Pretty much that's the one-stop shop for all of the things. So yeah, I would definitely say check out the website.
Yes, all things KTB Saucy for sure.
That's it.
Yes. Now, this is always fun for me, and I love getting to know each person, each competitor. So Zest Fest coming up. We're only a week away from the competition. So your final words, final thoughts, competition, what are you looking for the most? Final words right here.
Okay. My final words. I know darn good and well I don't stand a chance in hell of winning this chili competition, especially up against some of the people that are there. But I will say that I am absolutely thrilled to be there. So just the experience in and of itself is the most meaningful, amazing thing, and I can't wait to do it. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. Well, I look forward to seeing you, and I actually think you'll surprise yourself because you have gotten into the eating pods, and you never know. You never know what somebody else has dealt with that day or how their body reacts.
That's true.
You never know, but you're there for a reason, and I wish everybody the best, and I think you'll do very well. So I look forward to seeing that, and I, again, thank you for your time today.
Of course. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, everybody. A quick little how do we get to know Katie Bannister, KDB Saucy a little more. Just a little behind the scenes. So if you don't know, now you know. She's a great person, great personality, and she is awesome with identifying sauces and small batch sauce companies. So if you are a small batch sauce company and you are legitimately able to sell your sauces through a store or whatever, please reach out to her, and she'll be more than welcome to guide you and get you in the right place and spread your love to everyone else just as she spreads hers. So again, I'm Krazee J. I like to do things the crazy way. I definitely hope to see you all soon. Stay crazy, my friends.